Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news of Wednesday's City Council meeting, and they will be discussing the proposed casino again. News from Caltrans repairing Route 395, election news, local club news, today's KZGN Talking Points editorial, weather, sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News Crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Well, in Wednesday's City Council meeting, here's what's on the agenda. They start with presentations. First, they'll make a proclamation recognizing the Emergency Medical Services Week, May 15th through 21st. Next, they'll make a proclamation recognizing Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day. Then they'll make a proclamation recognizing National Public Works Week, May 15th through 21st. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar. Here's the issues they'll take up. First, they'll be accepting for filing the city's Treasurer Investment Report for the quarter ending March 31st, 2016. Next, they'll consider approval of a resolution authorizing an agreement with Caltrans that encumbers $223,000 and authorized tax allocation bonds in the amount of $564,000 to be used for matching funds for construction of the Drummond Widening Project from Inyo Street to Downs. Next, they'll consider approval of the purchase of a Ford 10-prisoner transport van. The next segment of the meeting will be public hearings. First, they'll conduct a public hearing and proposed adoption of a resolution approving a summary vacation of a drainage, access, and utility easement across the westerly 30 feet of city-owned property in the City Business Park. Next, they'll consider another public hearing and proposed adoption of approving a summary vacation and access easement across the northerly 30 feet of the city-owned property in the business park. Next on the agenda, they'll handle discussion and other action items. Here the council appears to have heard my complaints from last meeting concerning the closure of the jail in Ridgecrest. Councilman Mike Mowers proposed an action approving of a letter of opposition to the Kern County Sheriff regarding the pending closure of the local jail. Then the big topic of the evening will be the Indian Casino Agreement, which will once again be discussed. They'll consider approval of a resolution to authorize the city manager to execute a municipal service agreement with the Timbisha Shoshone tribe. This will be the 5th meeting on this topic. Then they'll get a budget update for fiscal year 2015-16. And finally, they'll have a discussion of a budget committee for development of the draft budget for fiscal year 2016-17. So that's Wednesday's agenda, and it's a big one for sure. If you have any comments of these items, especially the Indian Casino or the jail thing, be there. That's Wednesday evening, 6 p.m., City Hall. In election news, there was complete turmoil at the Democrat convention in Nevada Saturday. This situation escalated out of control when Roberta Lang, chairwoman of the Nevada State Democratic Party and member of the National DNC Executive Committee, subjectively called the results of a voice vote, adjourned the meeting using a gavel, and left. Adrian Ashley posted several live videos from inside the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas, where arcane secondary rounds of the delegate selection process of Nevada's Democratic Caucus erupted into chaos Saturday night. At one point, armed guards lined up in front of the speaker's stage. Bernie Sanders supporters demanded 64 rejected pro-Sanders delegates listed in a minority report prepared by their campaign to be allowed to participate in selecting delegates from the National Convention. Nevada State Party Chair and DNC Executive Committee member Roberta Lang refused to reconsider their decision not to allow this. She adjourned and fled the building amid chorus of boos, leaving hotel security and local police officers to handle the angry Sanders supporters. Earlier in the day, the Sanders camp objected to several of their delegates being disqualified from voting for administrative reasons. The crowd booed Senator Barbara Boxer when she called for unity. She said, "If you're booing me, you're booing Bernie Sanders." She told them, "Go ahead, boo yourselves out of this election." Ultimately, Boxer was booed off the stage. She was visibly irritated. A member of the Rules Committee called the act of disallowing votes for purely administrative reasons a violation of the spirit of the values of our nation.
Literally, the sheriff's department is coming into the building and trying to force us to leave. They have just entered from the back, here, and they have moved to the front, over here, and they are literally going to force us to leave the room when we called the meeting against everyone's verbal protests, slightly verbal protests. So anyways, as you can see, there are people at the front. They're very upset, and there are police, aka sheriffs, at the front. I don't know what the they're doing that. I really don't know. This is getting creepy and weird, and wow. So much for unity. Everybody sit down.
The Sanders supporters called for a recount of the votes, but they were again ignored by the DNC leaders. Sanders supporters were quoted as saying the whole convention was rigged and a fraud. The DNC opened the convention committed to making sure Clinton was the winner. In more election news, today the Democrats have primaries in Kentucky and Oregon. They have 55 delegates available in Kentucky and 61 in Oregon. Clinton needs 143 to get the minimum needed to be the nominee. For the Republicans, they only are going after 28 delegates in Oregon. Trump needs 102 delegates to cross over the minimum needed to be their nominee. It is still looking like California will be the deciding state to put Clinton and Trump over the minimums needed. In state news from Caltrans, we get this story of road repairs on Route 395. The California Department of Transportation will begin the Johannesburg resurfacing project on Tuesday, May 17th. The location of the work is on U.S. Highway 395 in Kern County. The work goes from the Kern County-San Bernardino County line to the junction of State Route 178. This project will resurface the roadbed with a rubberized hot mix asphalt. Drivers should anticipate daily lane closures along this stretch of Kern County Highway US 395 Monday through Thursday from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Delays could be up to 20 minutes. This project is scheduled to be completed by September. The contractor for this $5 million project is Granite Construction of Bakersfield. For the latest in highway information, please visit Caltrans Quick Map site at quickmap.ca.gov or call our road condition hotline at 1-800-427-ROAD. Caltrans wants to remind everyone of the new law that is intended to protect road workers. For the safety of the workers and other motorists, please be work zone alert and move over where possible. Again, this repair is on Route 395 south to Johannesburg starting Tuesday, May 17th. Now stay with us. We'll have club news after the break. Thanks for staying with us. In local club news, the China Lake Museum Foundation is getting ready for their annual dinner fundraiser. The event will be held Saturday, June 4th. It'll be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. This dinner and fundraiser helps raise funds for the operations of the museum on China Lake and to add construction funds for the new building to be built in the city. The proposed location of the new museum is by the Matarango Museum. Moving the museum off the base is real important to make it more accessible to the general public. So if you want to help, plan on attending the dinner fundraiser. Again, it will be held Saturday, June 4th. It'll be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. For more information, they can be contacted at 760-939-3530. They also have a Facebook page at China Lake Museum Foundation. In other club news, the Democrat Club of the High Desert will hold their monthly lunch meeting on Saturday, May 21st. It'll be at 12 noon at Charlie's Restaurant, located at the Clarion Inn on North China Lake Boulevard. They are pleased to announce that their guest speakers shall be Steve Morgan and Roy Parrish. Mr. Morgan currently serves on both the Airport Board and the Measure L Committee and will speak about both groups. Mr. Parrish is an advocate for Measure F. This is a measure we'll be voting on June 7th. The measure is on behalf of the libraries and will offer reasons to support this ballot initiative. Everyone is welcome to attend. There is no admission fee. Buying your own lunch or a drink is optional. For more information, you can contact Matthew Alexander, the press officer, at 760-382-3878. Now it's time for the 144th KZGN News Talking Points editorial. Here's today's topic. Clinton declares she'll only discuss the issues and not go into the gutter. Do you believe that? Well, as the elections get close to determining the nominees for president, Clinton has come out and said she will not go into the gutter with Trump. She will only address the issues and differences between them. Sure sounds good, doesn't it? Well, everyone should know she can do that. But why? It's very easy. There are all her PACs set up to do her dirty work for her. And does anyone really think she doesn't have anyone on the inside of those PACs? If you believe she doesn't, I have a bridge to nowhere I'd like to sell you. These anti-Trump PACs are just in the next 2 weeks going to spend millions of dollars against him before the California primary. Priorities USA will target Trump in 4 key general election battleground states with a $6 million ad buy that starts Wednesday. Though there is no word on the tone and message of the new ad campaign, the target audience is Republicans who might be turned off by Trump in Ohio, Florida, Nevada, and Virginia. Parties already has $130 million committed to buy a TV ad buy that begins in June, on June 8th. But this week's campaign, which runs up to the Democratic primaries in New Jersey and California, are also designed to help Clinton's pivot away from primary challenger Bernie Sanders. And there are estimates that over $1.5 billion, that's billion with a B, will be spent on the campaign between the end of the primaries to the election in November. Can you imagine that? $1.5 billion for the campaigns. Again, Clinton says she'll go the high road. And besides, the super PACs will be doing her dirty work. Then she'll have the advantage of the left-leaning media. It is already starting up with the New York Post's attempt to smear Trump with women. It took only 1 day for 2 of the women interviewed to come out swinging, declaring the writer slanted their statements into negative spin against Trump. These women have rebutted the story, saying Trump was a perfect gentleman to them. Nothing inappropriate happened, and they are supporting him for president. So are you ready? Many pundits said that the Clinton extreme election machine is up and running. Do you think Trump is going to just take the slams from the Clinton machine? There is no doubt this is going to be a down and dirty campaign. Clinton will hold back at nothing to get elected. Many people from behind the scenes say she is not the nice, happy person we see at her campaign speeches. Behind the scenes, she is ruthless and will stop at nothing to win this election. And then when her super PACs start their attacks, Trump will come back hard. And he is noted for trying to throw back harder than what gets thrown at him. And the primaries demonstrated that whenever he was attacked, he struck back even harder. So while Clinton says she was going to do the noble thing and stay on the issues, rest assured that is not what will be going on behind the scenes. Her biggest thing that she and the left media will attack is his record on women. Well, already twice they have tried to throw that bomb, and it has blown right back at them. There will be so many lies and distortions of the truth in the super PAC ads that your head will spin. And the unfortunate part is Trump will be firing back with real problems Clinton has, not distortions. And Trump won't hide behind some supposed super PAC. Clinton will try to convince all of us that she has no connection to these super PACs. When she makes those assertions, I wonder if her nose will start growing. For those of you Clinton supporters now probably upset with me about what I'm saying here about Clinton, sorry if I offended you, but I would be saying the same thing if Trump had super PACs doing the same towards Clinton. I'm sick and tired of these candidates saying they have nothing to do with super PACs. I know what the law says. The law requires them to have no control over these super PACs. But does anyone out there really believe there is no talk going on out of the public eye between the candidates and these super PACs? Come on, get real. Some of the PACs are run by former campaign people from the candidates. Do you really believe the phone doesn't ring to a certain person at the PAC telling them what the candidate is going to bring up next? Or a certain campaign worker doesn't get notified of the next series of commercials that will be released next week by the PAC? Hey, I've witnessed not nice things done between candidates even at our local elections level here. A campaign for president of the most powerful nation in the world has got to be brutal. with the media and individual campaigns having huge investigative departments meant only to find dirt on the opponent, you know it's going to be nasty. Nothing will be off limits. Well, I hope the kids of the candidates will at least be off limits. But I fear we will see history this summer and fall. The campaigns will get lower than we've ever seen them. And it will all start with these mean super PACs. Instead of taking the high road and advertising positive things about their candidate, the PAC will support their candidate and go into the mud against the opponent. I hold no hope that this will be a polite, out-of-the-gutter campaign. And I think it will all be started by the Clinton super PACs. And Trump will react and fight back. But if I was to make a suggestion to the Clinton super PACs, it would be this. Did you notice all the millions of dollars spent by Trump's own Republican opponents? Did you see the high-profile people come out against him? Did you see what happened? They didn't work. Millions of dollars wasted. Instead, they mostly made his base support get stronger and bigger, and more new people joined him in his campaign. The same thing is happening with the Democrats right now. The Clinton supporters are trying to stop Sanders by trickery, and the Sanders people are really getting mad. So mad that recent polling shows Sanders supporters may move to Trump if Sanders doesn't get the nomination. Recent polls estimate as many as 35% of Sanders voters will move to Trump. Again, the Democratic establishment is just like the Republican establishment. The regular folks are fed up with their control of the process. Our vote should matter. In conclusion, sure, Clinton will try and portray herself above the mud, but millions of people will not be fooled. We the people are not stupid. We know what's really going on. The Clinton machine is calling all the shots. I'm Tom Whitnick, and that's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. If you have any comments about this editorial or would like to discuss or recommend a topic, I'd like to hear from you. Please email them to info@kzgn.net. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, chilly air has settled into the central and eastern U.S. for the early part of the work week. Temperatures are forecast to be 10 to 25 degrees below average across a large area of the Rockies, Plains, Midwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley. Freeze warnings are in effect for parts of the Midwest and Great Lakes. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 76, Georgia at 71, Arkansas at 77, Northern Texas at 54, Arizona at 82, and Los Angeles at 66. And for us locally, tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 59, north wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 90, west wind 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 60, west-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny with a high near 91, west-southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 57, southwest wind 15 to 25 miles per hour with gusts as high as 35. Friday, sunny with a high near 80, southwest wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 25. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 54, west-southwest wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. And Saturday, sunny with a high near 78, south-southwest wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
So that's the news for today. All of the KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for a Ridgecrest Talk coming up next.